So how you guys liking your kitchen?
Oh, we're
Loving
loving it.
it.
Absolutely loving it.
Yes.
It looks fantastic. It really looks great.
Big transformation from, as you remember, how it used to look. Very 70s.
With
Yellow.
wallpaper. Well, no,
No,
we took the wallpaper down.
Yeah, when we moved
But-
in, it was all wallpaper.
And you get a much more open space now to the fireplace.
Yes.
It looks fantastic. It really does. I love the cabinetry. The prior kitchen, how old was that? Was that an original kitchen?
Yes, from 79 was the house. The house was built then, so we're assuming that they probably upgraded the appliances once, probably in the 80s, but other than that, it was still very 70s. From the cabinets to the arch wall to the, when we moved in, wallpapering from floor to ceiling.
That's right. There was actually a wall basically right where
Yes,
these lights
there's an
are.
arch wall here.
And then came in and filled in this space over here. Your house is really quite unique with all the big open windows. So this really has changed the way this whole kitchen looks.
Yes.
It took advantage of what you already had.
Yes, we didn't have to increase space. Some people wanted the kitchen bigger. Our space was already big. It just wasn't utilized properly, or the floor plan wasn't.
How did you come to find Signature? I don't remember. It's been a little while, but
I actually saw you guys on the internet, and I was comparing a bunch of shops in the area, and we happened to drive off Goody one day, and we happened to see your spinner guy on the road one weekend, and we saw your little flags out there, so we decided, hey, it's a nice weekend, let's pull into your shop. So we did, and we first person we met when we walked in was your designer Joe. And we just kind of wanted to see what was in there, and he allowed us to kind of look around and get an idea. We weren't even thinking about we're going to do our kitchen, but we knew at a point we were going to do it. And when we realized you guys were like a one-stop shop where we could actually go and everything would be there, that just made it easier than piecing everything together and thinking, where am I going to get my appliances, and who's going to do this, and is there going to be separate contractors to do the plumbing? You pretty much had everyone under one roof that we were very interested in wanting to work with a group like that.
what was the design process like?
It was quite easy. I mean, I think you had everything there, and it was nice to have samples out. And I basically, everything that he showed us was in the design room, like the cabinets, the floor was already there, and even to the handles.
So you're able to pick out the cabinetry, pick out the finishes, pick out the flooring, pick out the granite, pick out the fixtures, pick out the handles, the whole ball of wax.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everything was there.
Made it easier for you, right?
Yes.
How was the behavior of the guys that were here working, the lead carpenter and his helper? How do you feel that they handled things with you all?
Oh, Elmer and those guys worked really well. If I had a question, I'd ask Elmer, and Elmer was pretty much very attentive. And I said, if we wanted a new outlet somewhere, or we wanted something moved, he was pretty much sure, not a problem. And if there's something that I needed, I'd use your communication log and just kind of write it there, and they would address it the next day. But we found it very easy to accommodate and to work with. They weren't in our way, and we weren't in their way.
Were they respectful? Did they keep your house clean?
Yes, they did. They did. They covered the areas that were part of the house that wasn't being worked on, so we allowed the dust stayed in here. They kind of made it safety for the children. That was a big thing for our twin girls, that they weren't constantly running in the kitchen, bare floors and nails. So. But they really didn't leave a lot of debris on the ground. After the end of the day, everything was cleaned up, swept up.
How about the process with the management of Signature? Was everybody attentive to your questions when you needed an answer, or had an inquiry?
Oh, yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. I mean, anytime we had a question, we just, go talk to Joe.
Yeah.
That's good.
We would pop in. Sometimes I wouldn't even call. Just pop in and say, yeah, what can we do you for?
A lot of times when people have their kitchen designed or their bathrooms designed, they might deal with a designer, and then they feel sort of like they've been passed off and they never hear or see from the designer again. Joe was here pretty frequently, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. He was here probably more than some of these other guys that I saw working at the house.
Thank you. I appreciate your time, Doris and Sonny.
You're welcome.
We really enjoyed doing this kitchen for you. And if there's ever anything that you need, make sure you give us a call and we'll be happy to help you.
Absolutely.
We know where to find you.
That's right. That's
You're
right.
just down the road.